If I had gone to Arizona, that's my fucking life, dude. The amount of
you
fucking
would've been a
blonde girls.
4.
Literally,
You would have been a fucking 4. I'm a 5 on a good day.
on a good day.
Okay, it's
on
all
a good
about
day.
relativity.
It is.
Okay, this is the Call Her Daddy podcast. The girl drama that I was talking about. If anyone saw, there was like a little exchange interaction, and it's one of those things that you really have to read between the lines, but it will tell you a lot about communication with women, because this is why, like, especially if you're not a guy that notices these stuff, I don't think it's really all that natural for us men to notice. I kind of train my eye to look at stuff like this, but just know, like, this is why when I will say something with texting, like why I do mirror texting, or why all of these things are for a reason, and you're going to see why, because women read into little things so much more than any guy does. In this little, like, brief exchange between them two, again, like I'm saying, I bet you women would be like, oh yeah, I noticed that the first time you played that. Like, I noticed that felt a little uncomfortable to me. Right here. All right, guys, look for the next 12 seconds of this. This little snippet. This is going to be titled Girl Drama. Psychological Ninja Games. This is why we say, guys, the more you know about women, the less games they can pull on you. But there's a lot to learn, because they have this little stuff going on that if you misstep at all, they know how to pounce on it, and they know how to throw plausible deniability, and they know how to spin things. They know how to, like she said, create a narrative, and they know how to do that. And if that doesn't work, if all else fails, cry. Get emotional, cry. You hurt my feelings, right, guys? It's just so pointless to argue with women. They have too many tools that you will never win, so you'll just waste your time.
If I had gone to Arizona, that's my fucking life, dude. The amount of
you
fucking
would've been a
blonde
4.
girls. Literally,
You would have been a fucking 4.
but it's
Right there. Okay, and again, this is why, like, when I bring up that women are always, like, doing their own marketing, they're always creating a narrative. It's like these little things, to a guy that doesn't, especially a blue pill guy, has no idea about the stuff going on. You can just imagine these games are being played on him all the time, and he just is unaware of it. Maybe the girl doesn't even know she's doing it, but she's just so used to the social game and understanding all this stuff that she can just beat this guy down in every which way. A blue pill man has zero chance against a woman that has been sleeping around. Just zero chance. He's going to be eaten alive. Girls have played this game too long, and they know all the loopholes. But that little thing right there.
If I had gone to Arizona, that's my fucking life, dude. The amount of
you
fucking
would've been a
blonde
4.
girls. Literally,
You would have been a fucking 4.
We got to understand the context of this. To understand, this is like these little things, these little games that go on in women's world. This girl on the left here brought up that, hey, if I would have went to Arizona State, because she went to apparently Boston University, the one that she said that, you know, not very many pretty girls go to. So she's like, if I would have went to Arizona State University, and her co-host, right? Her co-host here that should want to build her up, that should want to be like, yeah, cool person, cool, you know, whatever. Like bro code, you would want to build up your buddy. But these girls, and you got to think about this, this is this whole competition anxiety. This is why women will compete after the same man, is they don't play by the rules. And if you notice there, a totally friendly, innocent podcast, and the blonde girl here just brings up, hey, if I would have went to Arizona State, the other girl can't help herself. She jumps in and goes, you would have been a 4. You would have been a 4. Twice loud. That has significant meaning, because what I can tell going on between these two is they probably have this little game going on where they're worried that they want to be the most liked on the podcast. They want to be the hottest girl on the podcast. So any little shot she'll take to try to lower the other peg, to subconsciously, even the viewers listening, they're listening to these girls, and you got one girl going, you would have been a 4, right? Just think about that. That's putting into the mind of the listeners, oh, she would have only been a 4, which is insane, right? This girl on the left, she's cute. The blonde girl, right? There's in no world would she be a 4. Everyone knows she would not be a 4. Any girl in shape these days is over a 4, because just that alone is like a feat in itself. But so the fact that she out of nowhere goes, you would have been a 4, is just showing you this little power game that's going on between these two co-host friends that both want their business to succeed. Now imagine again, when you're in a relationship, especially a blue-pilled man with a woman, these games are going on all of the time, and most guys have no idea that these are going on. Most guys have no idea. But if you were to like sit as a fly on the wall to most conversations and like marriages, you could probably point little things like this out if you sat down and broke it down. But that was one little piece. Now, here's where this girl on the left, Alex, the blonde girl, takes a little shot back. There's this little psychological game going on. Yeah, the brunette is jelly, she says. Yeah, it's interesting. They do little shots like this. When I heard, I probably listened to maybe 5 of their podcasts. They're little shots that they'll take here or there. But again, this was just like one that I could actually point out and show you guys. So let's see. Let's go to 538.
Needs to be self-aware.
Yes.
Okay, she's talking about everyone needs to be self-aware now.
If I walk into a homeless shelter, I'm probably going to be a 9.
You're going to be a 10, sweetheart.
That's okay.
Okay, so actually right there, you could tell the girl on the left, Alex, the blonde. So the girl on the right, Sophia or whatever, she's like, if I went into a homeless shelter, you got to be self-aware. If I went into a homeless shelter, I'm probably going to be a 9. When in reality, yeah, in a homeless shelter, she would be considered probably a 10. Just if you look at the perception of it. So she's saying, oh, I'd probably be a 9. And then her friend, Alex, her co-host, was like, you'd be a 10, sweetheart. She was basically going, you were fishing for a compliment, I gave it to you. And what, in my opinion, what Alex was basically doing with all of that tone and everything is she was basically saying, this is how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to build me up. You're not supposed to call me a 4. That was a stupid move by you. That is all being said, in my opinion, with this little tone. I think a lot of women would agree, they would pick up on that. Let's listen to that one last time, and then I'm going to show you. Then Alex, the blonde girl, comes back and gets her back after this.
Yes.
If I walk into a homeless shelter, I'm probably going to be a 9.
You're going to be a 10, sweetheart.
That's okay.
You're going to be a 10, sweetheart, right? She's like, okay, you're going to be a 10, sweetheart. Like, this is how you're supposed to do it. I gave you the compliment like you're supposed to give me. But now, you're going to see that she gets her back now.
I'm hot.
Right, you're hot
At
there.
a homeless shelter.
You
at
walk in.
At a soup kitchen, I'm fucking Candace Swanny-Opal or whatever the fuck her last name is.
You walk into San Diego State, oh, sweetheart, whole other ball game.
I'm a 5 on a good day.
On a good day.
Okay, it's
on
all
a good
about
day.
relativity.
It is, and if you are.
You guys hear that? She got her back there, right there. And see, again, this is why it's so funny. It's like there's so many things going on in this conversation that we could break down with the words they're saying, but then, again, just the back and forth. This is how women's minds work in the social game. Again, this is why everything you say or don't say with women matters. Everything you text or don't text. If you put on your online dating profile this huge paragraph or this long thing and all that, women read into that, and every little thing you do or don't do, they piece together and they make all these little assumptions. Because again, this is kind of how their mind works in the social world. Let's see that one more time. And then there's one last funny little thing about that. Yeah, we'll go back to you're a 10 here. So she gave her credit and then she couldn't help herself.
Yes.
If I walk into a homeless shelter, I'm probably going to be a 9.
You're going to be a 10, sweetheart. That's
okay?
a good comparison.
I'm hot.
Right, you're hot
At
there.
a homeless shelter.
You
at
walk in.
At a soup kitchen.
And by the way, I didn't know if you guys noticed that too. Alex, the blonde, goes, yeah, you're hot there. She even, just the way she said there, she's trying to, they're just going back and forth little by bit.
I'm fucking Candace Swanny-Opal or whatever the fuck her last name is.
You walk into San Diego State.
Now listen to that. She was ready. You guys hear that? You walk into she was ready to bring this up. She's been waiting. She's been waiting since that first comment the other girl gave her.
Oh, sweetheart, whole other ball game.
I'm a 5 on a good day.
On a good day.
Okay, it's
on
all
a good
about
day.
relativity.
It is, and if...
And you notice that too. One last thing, guys. This is so funny. This is how petty women are. Sophia, when they mentioned San Diego State, right? What did that girl, the Sophia, the brunette, what rating did she give the blonde girl? If she goes, if you would have went to Arizona State, you would have been a 4.
If I had gone to Arizona, that's my fucking life, dude. The amount of
you
fucking
would've been a
blonde girls.
4.
Literally.
You would have been a fucking 4.
Again, that has significance. You would have been a 4. And then she comes back and goes, yeah, if I would have been to San Diego State, I would have been a 5.
I'm a 5 on a good day.
These are these subtle things. This is why it's so... When I sit on the outside looking in sometimes, when I'm like around couples or something, and I'm like watching what's going on, I'm just like, sometimes it's almost stressful in a sense because I read into too much about what's going on. I'm just like, oh God, this is a toxic relationship, by the way. Yet it could come across as a totally normal podcast or as a normal conversation to a lot of people. But that's the little thing. Like, these little things are going on all of the time with women. And you guys just saw that little subtle... You'd be a 4 versus I would have been a 5 comparatively. These little things they do. Yeah, Match Hunter said it well. We've heard this before. Women understand each other. That's why they hate each other. Yeah, women are skeptical. Like, if a woman has a son or something, or it's like a relative, they're like protective of that guy for a reason with women because they know how women's minds are. This is why women think so low of men, and women think that like men are always out to get them and they're always plotting against, because again, these are the little things, these are the little games that are going on in a woman's world. It's just so interesting. So interesting. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, but definitely subscribe.